Hi guys, I'm Missy, and if you're new here, welcome, and if you're returning, welcome back. So today we are starting my eyeshadow palette declutter series, and the way I like to do this is I like to go through my eyeshadow palettes based on pan size and kind of separate them video-wise that way. So today's video is going to be my eyeshadow palettes that are from like quads all the way up to 8-pan palettes for this video. There might be some duos in here, but I don't think so. I think the smallest is like these stacks type things, but that would be if you're counting them as a single, but I'm not doing that. I'm kind of counting it as a palette. So yeah, I think the smallest is a quad, which is 4. So let's go ahead and get started on that. So we pull these over here. Okay, so first up we have this one. This I got in an ice cream beauty bag, I believe it was. This is from Illuminati. This one is the Royal Quad from Illuminati. Very pretty, but it is all shimmers with the exception of this shade. And I just know myself, I'm not going to reach for this, so I'm going to pass this on to someone else who can use it. That being said, I want to say, please do not ask me to send you anything. I give dibs to my family members and friends, and whatever I can donate, I donate. So again, please don't ask for me to send you makeup. It makes me feel icky. Okay, so I'm going to declutter this one. And then we also have this one that I got in Ice Cream Beauty, also Illuminati. This is Serpent. This is the Serpent quad. Again, very pretty colors, but I know myself, I'm not going to reach for this, especially all shimmers. I love a good ratio of matte to shimmer in my palettes, so I'm going to pass this along as well. And both of these are brand new, never been used. Okay, so then we have this one. This one I also got from Ice Cream Beauty, and I have used this one. I used the top 2 shades. This is from Delancey. These are multi-chromes, or duochromes, one of the two. I do not remember the name of this palette. If I can find it, I'll pop it up. I really like this shade right here for a lid shade, and I really like this for an inner corner. I do want to try the blues though. I'm going to put it in the maybe pile because it is an all shimmer-esque palette. It doesn't have any mattes in it, so I'm going to put it in the maybe pile for now. Okay. I also have this from Ladybug Glow. This is the Misteriosa palette, I think is how you say it. This one has like these specialty shades in it. Very pretty. I haven't really got to play around with this, but I want to see how I like it, because these shades tend to be very beautiful on the lid. And this one right here is like really calling to me. So I'm going to keep this one for now. Okay. All right. Next, let's get into my Give Beauty. Some of these are more than 4 shades, I believe. But we have this one. This is Rich Girl. I love these for very quick and easy neutral looks. I don't have to think about it, and the quality is excellent. Love, definitely keeping. I also have Danger Zone. All right, so this is Danger Zone. I will say I don't reach for this one as much because it's very cool toned and you got this like dark gray shimmer, but I am going to keep. Then I also have Simple Kind of Life. Now this one is an all matte, which is not my favorite. Like I said, I'm not a huge fan of all shimmer or an all matte palette, but this comes in very handy when I want a specific kind of shade of matte to help me with blending and things with certain palettes, so I am going to keep. And then I also have Just a Girl in the 4-pan. I'm having to use my little tool to help me open some, just because it's hard for me to open with the press-on nails. This one, as you can see, I use quite a bit. Really like this one. Very good every day. So I'm going to keep. Okay. So I think that is all of my quads. So I think we're going to move on to my 5 pans, and then we'll move on to the 6 pan, which is with the majority of what I have. So here are my 5 pans. So I have these these are quads, not 5 pans. So I have all these e.l.f. quads, basically. And this is Hot Jalapeño. So these don't cost very much. I think they're like $3 or $4. They're good for the price. They're definitely a lot better than e.l.f. shadows from the past. But they're still not pigmented enough for me. So I'm going to declutter this one. That was one of the better ones though. So then we have this one from e.l.f. This is I Love You a Latte, and this is an all matte palette. Again, not a fan of all matte, but these do have a good range of tones in them if you're looking for a good cheap all matte neutral palette. I would recommend this one because this is probably the best quality of all of the e.l.f. ones I have. It and one of the other ones I'm going to show you here in a minute. But again, it's still not up to the quality that I like for my shadows to have. So I'm going to declutter this one as well. Okay, so this is the other one that was a decent quality. I forget what this one was called. I'll try to pop it up on the screen if I can find it. But it's just another good, like, everyday neutral palette. Now this one I would reach for more because it has a good ratio of shimmer to matte for me. But I have these tones in a better quality shimmers and mattes in my collection, so I'm going to declutter. Then we have this one. This is Rose Water. This one I could barely get the pigment to show up on. I was like really digging in the pans. So if you're interested in these, I would not recommend this one. I feel like it's just way too muted. And as you can see, it's got 3 shimmers and 1 matte ratio. So I'm going to declutter that one. Then we have this one. This one I got in a advent calendar. This is Berry Bad. I was excited to try this out, and I should have took my cue after trying it out of what the quality was going to be like for these e.l.f. palettes. They were just not going to be up to par for me, personally, because this one is not my favorite either. Again, it's got a good ratio of matte to shimmer, but it just isn't pigmented enough for me. And I like my shimmers to like really pop, and these are just your basic shimmer. So if you're into like the basic shimmers and a somewhat pigmented matte, then yeah, these are good for the price, but I don't know. I'm just not a fan, so I'm going to declutter that one as well. Same with this one. I thought this one would at least be pretty decent because it's dark blues, but these are so muted when you put them on the eyes. It's crazy. Like, this hardly shows up when you put it on. And this right here pretty much disappeared in my crease. I mean, if you're scared of blue eyeshadow, then this would be a good beginner blue eyeshadow, I guess. But yeah, I just don't like this one. I'm going to declutter it as well. I'm sad because I bought all these just recently. Then we have this one. This is stickers off of it as well. So I can't tell you which one this one is. But again, I'll try to pop up on the screen if I can find it. I didn't really care for the color story on this one. I thought it was just kind of a weird mismatch of shades. I'm going to declutter. And we have this one. This is another all matte palette. With the exception of the blue. The blue is the only shimmer in this palette, which I feel like doesn't really go with the mattes. I feel like it's just a weird color story to me. I don't know. I just didn't feel like I could create anything super cohesive with this, so I'm going to declutter it as well. And then lastly, the one I was mostly excited for, this is Pumpkin Pie, because I thought this would be cute to wear during the fall season, but it's just not good quality. Like I said, it's better than e.l.f.'s quality in the past, but it's not that far of a step up from it, in my opinion. I feel like I have much better pigmentation and better shimmers in my palettes throughout my collection, so I don't feel the need to keep any of these whatsoever. So decluttering that one as well. All right, so let me double check here before I move on to make sure. Okay, so I think these are my only 5 pans, I believe. So I have this one from Ofra and Allie Dawson. Now this one here, if you want a good fall palette, this is a beautiful fall palette. My only thing is I wish there was more than just this one shimmer in here. I wish they'd made a 6 pan and put another shimmer in. And this is like a very glittery shimmer because you can use it as a highlight too. So it's not my favorite palette in my collection, but I am going to keep it because I do love these mattes in the fall. Again, this shimmer's pretty, but it's not my favorite. So keeping. And then I have this one from Ladybug Glow. This is the Magical Creation palette. This is another one of those palettes that have like some special shades in it. I haven't used it yet, and this one's crumbling a little bit, so it's a bit concerning. But we have this matte and this matte. So you have a good option here. So you compare this matte and this shimmer together, and this matte and this shimmer together. And then you could use this as like an inner corner highlight. So I can definitely see the color story here and create looks with it. And again, you could use this to even like deepen up a look with this. So yeah, I'm going to keep it and try it out. All right, moving on. I think we are into the 6-pan palettes now for sure. So, wait, hold on. Let me double check. When I keep thinking I am. Yeah, okay. So I think the rest is starting from 6 pans and on. So let's go back to some more give. So we have this one. This is Make Me Like You. And so these, they released after they released the quads. So you kind of have your bigger shades here for transitioning and stuff. And then you have the smaller pans. I'm going to keep. I also have A Simple Kind of Life in this one as well as in the quads. This is what it looks like. I'm going to keep. All right, so we have this one. This is the Tartlette Spark. I got this at a Ross, I believe, for like $4. Very pretty palette. I'm going to put it in the maybe pile for now. Okay, so then I have this one I got from Ipsy. This is, I think it's pronounced Lith. This is the Night and Day eyeshadow palette. This looks really, really pretty when you first put it on, but it does not last. It lasted me maybe about an hour or two before it started fading, so I'm going to declutter this one. Okay, moving on, we're going to kind of speed through the best we can with these Tarte ones because I'm keeping all of my Tarte ones. This is the little mini Maneater. These are the tones. Keeping. This is the Tartlette Starlight. Keeping. This is the Maracuja Juicy Mini. They have your nice purple pink tones here. Keeping. I reach for these when I want something quick, along with my give. This is the Tartlette. You have another like pinky mauve with some neutral. Keeping. We have the Big Ego. Get some purple, pink, and some neutrals. Keeping. We have the Lights Camera Lashes. You can tell I've used this one quite a bit. Keeping. We have another Tartlette, but this one is different. Keeping. I will say this one only has one shimmer in it, so I'm not a fan of that, but I am keeping. We have another Big Ego, but it is different. Keeping. All right. Then we have this Care Bear Violet Voss. This is the mini one. I'm going to put this in the maybe pile. All right, so I want to grab, actually from back here, my little mini essence palettes. And we'll go ahead and grab these two, actually. All right, so we have my two little mini Melt Cosmetic stacks, we have the neutral browns and the warm browns. Love these, especially for traveling. You do have to be careful though, because they do kind of come apart easily, but I love reaching for these when I have to travel or anything like that. I do reach for them on a daily basis too, when I want just simplistic looks, but they're really good for travel, so I'm keeping. Okay, so then we have my Essence little mini palettes. This is the Coral Me Maybe. Love it. Keeping. We have I Like to Mauve It, Mauve It. This one is kind of muted. So you can't expect a whole lot from this one being purple. Like it's very, very muted purples. But I do like it, so I'm keeping. Same with this one. This is very muted pinks. This is my Rose Will Go On. You see in there, it's like very light. Gonna keep. And we have the Taupe It Up. Love this one. It's one of my favorites. Keeping. Same with this one. The Nothing Compares. The Nothing Compares to Nude. You guys can see this one gets a decent amount of use. Keeping. Same with this one, Bronze This Way, when you want a more warm tone look. Keeping. And we have the Dancing Green. I'd say this was like the most popular one when it came out. Keeping. And then Ice Ice Baby. Beautiful blues and silvers. Keeping. Okay. All right, so we have this one. This one is from Cursed Cosmetics. I got this in their one and only mystery box that I bought. Wasn't a huge fan of the mystery box. I felt like it could have been better. This is from their Asylum 49 collection. This is the Screams palette. And this is an all shimmer palette, but it's like duochromes. I pair this with my Melt Cosmetics Bailey Sarian Fatally Yours palette, the first one. Love how it pairs with that. So that's the reason I keep this, because it pairs really well with that all matte palette. So I'm definitely keeping. All right, so then we have this one. This is the So Lucky palette from Lorella. I got this, I believe, in an Ice Cream Beauty bag. I haven't got to try it yet. I'm wanting to try it this month. So the only thing I don't like is, okay, so it comes apart like this, right? I don't really like palettes that do that. But so this is a 7 pan. And I'll go back to my 6 pans here in a minute. It has 2 mattes and the rest are shimmers. I do feel like it needed one more dark matte in here though. And I'm not sure about this like dark shimmer here. That being said, I do want to try it. I've only ever tried one palette from Lorella that I got in a mystery box, and I wasn't a fan of the quality. But this looks a lot better as far as tones go. That one was kind of like very grayish nudes, and it just didn't really appeal to me. So this one is more greens, obviously, and golds. So I am going to keep it for now and try it out. If I try it out before this video goes up and I decide to declutter it, I'll let you guys know either up on the screen or in a pinned comment. All right, let's go back to the 6 pan palette. So I picked up a couple palettes when Colored Rain went out of business because I had never tried them, and all these were $2.50. So I didn't want to pass that up. And I believe I've used most of them so far. I am so surprised that they went out of business because their quality of mattes and shimmers is excellent. Like, I have been very happy with every single look I have done with the palettes I bought from them. So I am definitely keeping. This is one of my favorites. This is the Neutral Chick. Keeping. I also got the Wealthy Chick. This one, let me see. Yeah, I haven't used this one yet, but I'm going to pull it out and use it. There is this like dark blue that is in here that I would have preferred to be more of a dark green. I mean, it kind of looks like a dark blue. We'll see when I actually use it if it comes off blue or green. But yeah, I definitely want to keep this because I love a good green eye look. Keeping. And we have Pretty Chick. Now this one, the color story is a little out of my comfort zone with this bright purple and pink and this kind of like fuchsia color. But I am going to give it a try, so I want to keep it. Then we have this one called the Sunset Chick. I mean, look at this like reflective packaging too. It's so pretty. Gorgeous yellow and orange. I mean, it just screams sunset like it says, like the name says. It just screams sunset like the name says. Keeping. And this one is the other one I picked up. This is the Queen Bee. I mean, look at this. Look at that holographic wings. This is a favorite of Allie Dawson here on YouTube. And then you have the lenticular motion on the front. And look at these colors. Look at this. So pretty. Gorgeous. Especially this shade right here. Keeping. All right, let me gather the palettes I got over here that I'm keeping into a container before they fall over, and I'll be right back to go over some more. All right, I am back, and let's move on to these Glamlight ones. So these are their Hershey Kisses ones. I went all over my county looking for these in the different Rosses and TJ Maxx, but most of mine I found at Ross. So this is the milk chocolate with almonds. These are not Glamlight's best quality. They're their so-so quality. That being said, I want to keep and try out some more before I fully declutter them. So yeah, I think I might incorporate maybe doing like shorts with each one so I can make more of a full opinion on them. So I'm going to keep all of them for now, but I'm going to show them all to you. So that's the milk chocolate with almonds. And we have the milk chocolate. That is this one. I haven't even used this one yet. Okay. And we have the lava cake one. This is the pink one. And we have cookies and cream. The packaging is a bit of a pain to store as well. This one I have not used yet either. And then we have the special dark one, which is the purple tones, which I have not used yet either. So again, I'm keeping all these, and I am going to try and incorporate them into shorts or something, or maybe like a Shop My Stash, I don't know yet, and kind of decide from there. But for now, I'm keeping. Okay, so then we have these. These are palettes that I got from Ice Cream Beauty. I did pay to get all of them. I paid the extra. I think it was $10. So this is the Exotic Skewer palette. This is what it looks like. I'm keeping these because I have not tried them yet. Not a huge fan of the wasted space, though, in these palettes. But I do like DD Signature's formula that I have used. I think these are older palettes from my understanding, so we'll see if that's the case. We have this one as well. This is the Caramel Skewer, or caramel, however you want to say that. We have the Tropical Skewer. It's this one. And we have the Juicy Skewer. And that is what that one looks like. Again, I'm keeping all of those. Alright, let's move on to this last container. Okay. Alright, so we have let's do the BH Cosmetics ones. We have the Sweet Shop Pistachio. This is the green palette. Love the quality of these. Keeping. These are pretty old, but they still have their pigmentation. This is the Bubblegum palette. I got a lot of these from, again, Ross and TJ Maxx's, but I did order some off of Poshmark as well. All blues. Very pretty. Keeping. These are the good BH Cosmetics formula. I am sad that they went out of business and was bought by Makeup Revolution. This is the Sugar Cone one. This is going to be your neutrals. Keeping. We have Cotton Candy, so obviously this is going to be your pink one. Pink and purple. Very pretty. Keeping. Doesn't want to go back in the package. Then we have Orange Sorbet. Look at those tones. So pretty. And we have Cherry on Top. I will say that red does kind of scare me, but there's like there's more of like peachy orange corals in this than there is reds. So I'm going to keep. Just because red is one of those shades that can get out of hand like very quickly. Same with like a black eyeshadow, very pigmented black eyeshadow. Let's move on. We've got my Beetlejuice Milk Cosmetics one. I believe these are all my 8 pans that I'm getting into now. We have, I mean, look at this packaging. It's so cool. And then they have a still from the movie. You guys don't know, I love Beetlejuice. It's one of my favorite movies. I will say a lot of these shades are very similar on the eyes, but I am keeping... I am sad I missed out on the waiting room palette, but these were like super pricey. So I was lucky to get this as a gift from my husband. Okay, so let's do this one. This is Unearthly Spaced Out. I got this in a mystery box from Unearthly. These are not really tones that I tend to gravitate towards. I'm going to put it in the maybe pile for now. Then we have this one from Mirabella. This is the Studio palette. This is a good quality palette, but I'll be honest, I don't reach for it very much, so I'd rather it get moved on to someone who's going to give it more use. So I'm going to declutter this one. And we have my Christmas Morning Give Me Glow palette. This is new to me. I just recently bought this, I think last year. Look at that, just screams Christmas. Keeping. Okay. Then we have my Wicked Widow Lovesick palette. This is my first Wicked Widow Beauty palette, and I fell in love with their formula with this palette. I got it in an ice cream beauty box. Love it. So pretty. It was a Valentine's Day release. Keeping. I also got their Graveyard Smash one that they released. I also got this in an ice cream beauty. I haven't got to use this yet, but I mean, look at that color story. That is so pretty. And I love their shimmer formula. It's one of my favorites. All right, so then we have the NYX Beetlejuice palette. This was kind of a letdown. I did like this shimmer, and I did like that matte that I used, but it's not my favorite. Honestly, the biggest reason I want to keep it is because of the Beetlejuice connection. I'm going to put it in the maybe pile for now. Alright, so moving on, let's go into this one. This is my Anastasia Beverly Hills Soft Glam 2. I got this from Ipsy. I bought it from like their add-ons because I wanted to try out the older formula from Anastasia. And this was like in a kit that came with like a lipstick or something. And I think a lipstick and a lip liner or something like that. I haven't got to try it yet, but I do want to try it out, so I'm going to keep it. I will say I'm not a fan of the soft packaging, though. That gets dirty very quickly. Okay, moving on, we have this palette I got from my Ipsy. This is Formula Z. This was a very pretty palette. Now, see, the good thing with this palette is that you have a blush, you have a bronzer, you have a highlighter, and you have your eyeshadows. And it's very small and compact. And it is decent quality. The lasting of it is not as long as I wanted it to. It was much better than this palette. I think it lasted me probably about a good 6 to 8 hours. This one did. But I already have these tones in my collection, so I'm going to declutter. Alright, then we have this one, and this one I just recently got. This is Color Boss Master Palette. I forget the brand. But this feels like super luxe. And the tones are very pretty. You got like your neutral side and then kind of like your berry mauve-y side. I'm going to keep Il Maquillage. Yes, so this is an Il Maquillage palette. That's why it feels so luxe and heavy. I'm going to keep, I believe I got that in a Ipsy box. Okay, let's move on to Tarte, and we've only got a couple more palettes, and then I'll have my total for you. So these were a holiday collection. This is Bejeweled. This is what it looks like. Very pretty. Keeping. I will say I do like the smaller sizes versus these. These are not bad, but I do prefer the a lot smaller 6-pan, these. All right, so then we have this one. This is Elegance. And that's what that one looks like. Keeping. And then we have Gilded, which I think they did another Gilded in a bigger palette that I had. Gonna keep. All right, so now we're down to my couple Melt Cosmetics palettes. This is the Smoke Sessions palette. I just recently started using Melt Cosmetics in the last 2 years, something like that. This is what it looks like. So pretty. I got this in their mystery box. Keeping. And yes, I know this is a certain theming. I do not partake in that, but I don't harsh on anybody who does. That's their business. All right, so then we have the Smoke Sessions 2. And this one, you guys know, was going to be up my alley because it is purples. Love. Keeping. And then the last one is Bailey's most recent one, Fatally Yours 2. And this is what it looks like. You got this like vinyl. And then you have this gorgeous insert of her. And then these are the colors. This is very pretty. I will say that I prefer her first collection more, the color story. But I do appreciate that this has mattes and shimmers in it. But yeah, keeping. Alright guys, so I have my maybe pile here. And let's see. I'm going to declutter the Delancey. I am going to keep the Care Bear for now. I'm going to keep the Tarte. I'm going to keep the Unearthly. And I'm going to keep the NYX too. Alright, I'm going to count my totals up and I'll be right back. Alright guys, I'm back and I kept 65 and I decluttered 15. So, could have done better. Happy with what I did do. But yeah, hopefully I do better throughout the rest of my declutters because I thought for sure I was going to be decluttering more out of this one, so we shall see. All right, stay tuned. My next video coming up for eyeshadow palette declutters will be my 9 pans, which is a decent chunk of my collection. All right, if you guys would, before you leave, like and subscribe down below. Really helps me out, and I would appreciate it. Until next time, guys. Bye.